Hi, welcome to another episode of MYD Global. I'm your host, Leanne Hackman-Carty. In today's episode, I'm speaking with Lisa Bedford. Lisa is actually the founder of Survival Mom Sisterhood. She's also co-founder of Preparedness University. She's an expert in helping moms prepare and plan for disasters. She's got some great tools and resources, so stay tuned as I talk to Lisa about some of the great tools and resources she has to help moms and families around the world prepare. Hi, Lisa. How are you doing today?
And I'm doing great.
So before we get started, why don't you just tell the audience a little bit about your background?
Yeah, I have an unusual background that led me to this moment, Leanne. I actually started out my career as an elementary school teacher, but I quickly moved into instructing adults and writing curriculum and just writing up lessons and training. And so 11 years ago, it's hard to believe this now, but it was 11 years ago, towards the end of 2008 into 2009, that an extreme economic downturn here in the United States happened. And it was worldwide. And really, just in a matter of a few weeks, our family business began to plummet. The phone wasn't ringing, and I began to get worried as just an everyday suburban mom. Do I just have to sit here and watch us lose our home, possibly declare bankruptcy? And something inside me, and I think it's a common thread among moms, Leanne, is that I thought, no, not on my watch. There has to be a way for me to be proactive. And so I began researching. And that led me into the realm of preppers and survivalism. And I started to think, this rings true. I can do some of this, but it's just not me. And so then over the next several months and then into the years that followed, I began to create really my own, I guess, forge my own path in those areas. It made sense to me as a suburban mom. I homeschooled our kids at the time. And really that evolved into Survival Mom, which is just something that any mom, no matter whether you live in a rural area or an urban area, no matter the income, no matter, your stage of life, it really is something you can do.
Well, I think it's a timely topic because I would think, given COVID and what's happening right now, and so many job losses, especially if you're a single mom raising a family, what types of advice would you give? Just some basic tips for a mom that might be watching on something she can do right now to help her go through this disaster that we're all going through globally right now.
Right. I think the important thing to remember is that no two families or households are identical. So when someone begins to research and, it usually begins in some kind of a panic, right? So all of a sudden you find out that your town or your city, state, or province is going to go on a lockdown. And you realize, oh my gosh, I haven't gone grocery shopping for 2 weeks, or I'm sitting home with a kid, who has a fever. How am I going to get to the drugstore for prescriptions and so on? A lot of times that the panic is a good thing because it really compels us to move forward and take really smart actions. However, it can also freeze us in place where we aren't sure what to do. So I would just suggest to your viewers that they think back to March and April and May, when the different quarantines and lockdowns with different rules, depending on where you live, when those took place. And what did you immediately notice that you didn't have or you didn't have enough of? In our case, we had food storage to last a good 30 days or longer. But of all things, I didn't have kitchen trash bags. It just didn't occur to me. So the first thing that I would suggest right now is to get a piece of paper and a pen or pencil and start jotting down what did you not have enough of? What did you run out of? When you were thinking, oh my gosh, how am I going to get to the grocery store? Think about all those kinds of things. And that will help you create a to-do list to get you through the next crisis, because there very well could be future lockdowns. It really just kind of depends on where you live and, just the decisions that are being made by those around you, whether it's a school district level or it's your town, county, and so on. So I would just suggest starting with, honestly, the everyday things that moms have to deal with, and that is in the area of sanitation. So you start thinking, wow, I didn't have hand sanitizer. Or I realized with all of us at home, we're going to be doing laundry a lot more often. So start making a list of the consumable items that you use on a day-to-day and week-to-week basis. And create a master list, because you don't want to be stuck and not have something like saline solutions for your contact lenses, or baby food or diapers. So start listing those consumables and categorize them. Maybe categorize them by cleaning supplies, toiletries, personal items, and then just start shopping for extras. And what I'm recommending right now, whenever your viewers see this now or into the future, I recommend really setting a goal of 30 days of extra. Now, this isn't stuff that you're going to start digging into when you run out.
Yeah.
No, when I say stocking up, I mean you set it aside. Otherwise, the next time there is some kind of an emergency, a big winter storm, for example, and the roads are closed and you already used up your stock of cleaning supplies and laundry soap and so on, well, now you're stuck again. So you have to just tell yourself, and maybe your kids too, hey, this is extra. We're not going to get into it, because I want to have this set aside specifically, and then almost just forget you even have it. But when you start thinking about sanitation in the area of consumables, that is a good place to start.
So I know that, congratulations for taking a crisis in your own life and turning it into an opportunity, saying, you know what, I have to take control here. I have to spin this into something positive, and you've done that. And I know that you've got a number of resources on the internet. Can you just speak to some of the resources that you have?
Everything begins with my website, thesurvivalmom.com. When you go there, you can even click a button that says Start Here. And I have free offerings for branding people. I have a prepping self-assessment to kind of get an idea of some of the other things that you might need to do, especially if you have been preparing, or you've been kind of into this for a while. Maybe that's just your personality to always be prepared. I have courses on the subjects of food storage and water storage and purification. I even have a low-cost, very inexpensive course called Prepping 101, where we start at the very, very bottom and lay a good foundation for you to build upon in the coming weeks and months. But thesurvivalmom.com, and I even have a monthly membership for women who want ongoing, a monthly community and monthly training on lots of different topics that we dig into in depth. Also, take a look at Amazon.com for my book, Survival Mom. It's actually a very comprehensive family survival manual written by a mom, for women, that is all about being practical. And I don't know that I ever really get into wild conspiracy theories. I don't think I do, but maybe I threw a couple in there just for fun. But that would be another good place to start.
Well, that's great. Is there anything else before we wrap up that maybe you didn't get a chance to mention that you wanted to?
I would say that it all begins with your family and with you. And a lot of times, Leanne, you can maybe relate, but when you have kids, you're raising a family, those are such busy years. And as moms, we tend to just make ourselves last. But if you think about it in a crisis, you actually are the center point of that crisis. So you're the one that will have some difficult decisions to make. You're the one that will be facing challenges and deciding, what do we do? And, I'm going to be delegating these tasks, whether, again, it's a big winter storm, a wildfire, a second wave of the virus. So take care of yourself. And that means getting out in the sun and getting vitamin D. It means talking to a doctor, and make sure that if you have any health issues, take care of those right now. I'm urging people, before there might be a second lockdown or something similar, take care of those appointments. Your annual OBGYN appointment, dental appointments, whatever it is, really treat yourself with a lot of care. Because when a stressful time comes, you are the one that is going to be so pivotal to your everything running smoothly in your family. They really are going to depend on you, Mom.
Well, that's great advice, for not only for moms, but for everyone, to just get more prepared. So thank you so much for taking the time today to speak to me. I will have your resources in the description below in the video. And thanks very much as you continue to do some great work.